You might not know this about me, but I was pretty much raised on old Western TV shows. I mean, of course you don't know that about me. You people don't know me. Well, some of you do, but you might not know that specific fact. Unless you're one of my family members who watch this. Hi Marjorie, hi Mommy and Daddy, whenever you watch this. Anyway, what was I talking about? Right, Westerns. We unfortunately lost my grandfather last year, but one of the things that he loved to do was to watch old Western TV shows, and some of my favorite memories with him are when I would climb up into his lap and watch with him. As a result, these shows are pretty near and dear to my heart, and one of my most favorite things about them are their glorious opening theme songs. So I decided to break from all my norms, if I even have those, and rank my top 10 favorite old Western theme songs. This one's for you, Papa. So first up at number 10 we have The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I've never even really watched this show because I always felt it was kind of boring, but this song is on here because it's hilarious.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The show in general is hilarious because of just how much it romanticizes Wyatt Earp. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. And just listening to the men's choir sing so dramatically about how flawless Wyatt Earp was is just great. And the way they just go ooh all throughout every episode makes it even better. I feel like this song is just such a perfect slice of old Western escapism and romanticism that I couldn't not include it. And the tune is pretty catchy. Next up at number 9 is the theme music of Laramie, a show that I have actually watched and which is rather underrated as Westerns go. This song is great because of how different it is from all the other theme songs that you'll hear. There's no men's choir, it's not this epic adventure music, it's just this sweet, peaceful little tune. And I think that's kind of appropriate, just because Laramie is rather unique among Westerns. Not like extremely different in what happens, but more so in premise. Like, it's just about two dudes who are friends and usually have to be stand-in lawmen or something. I just love how different it is and how it sets up such a distinct vibe for the show. Number 8 is Rawhide. The funny thing about this one is that I haven't actually watched a lot of Rawhide, at least not recently, but many years ago, the channel where my grandpa watched all these shows was doing a bunch of marathons. They had an 11-hour Laredo marathon, a 20-hour Gunsmoke marathon, and a 17-hour Rawhide marathon. And the one that my family and I saw pretty much all the way through was the Rawhide Marathon. So this song was stuck in my head for quite a while. Fortunately, it's a great song. Honestly, it's iconic.
Keep moving, moving, moving. Oh, they're disapproving. Keep them doggies moving, rawhide.
It's almost a little melodramatic for the fact that it's just a cattle drive, but you know, being on a cattle drive probably was pretty intense, so it's appropriate. This song is truly one of the greats among Western themes, and it's been ingrained into my mind for the rest of time, so there was no way I couldn't include it. Next up for number 7 is Have Gun, Will Travel. This is yet another show that I haven't actually seen a lot of, but its theme song is great, and it has stuck with me for years and years.
Paladin, Paladin, where do you roam? Paladin, Paladin, far, far from home.
This one is similar to Laramie in that it's got a pretty distinct vibe from its peers. It's just one guy singing this kind of lonesome sounding ballad, which I think also sets up the show pretty well since it's just about this one guy. I just really like the melody of the song and the whole atmosphere that it gives off, and it's really fun to sing, so it definitely belongs here among my favorites. At number 6 we have Lawman. Oh boy, this song. Y'all are gonna call me fake, but I also haven't seen a lot of this show. I actually didn't even know about this show until fairly recently, and I'll admit that the show itself is pretty unremarkable, but this song gives me life. Just listen to it.
Lawman, lawman, the lawman came with the sun. There was a job to be done, and so they sent for the badge and the gun of the lawman.
It's so funny. It's so perfect. This one is very similar to Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, but like 10 times better. I don't know what it is, honestly, but this song just brings me so much joy. Overly dramatic things are just really funny to me, and this theme just hits the sweet spot. There really isn't a legit justification for its placement this high on the list, it's just, I love it, and I had to put it on here. And now at number 5 we have Cheyenne. This is actually one of my favorite westerns, for no particular reason, really. It's definitely not the best one, but for whatever reason, my sister and I just latched onto the show, and we love Clint Walker and his bigness. The theme, however, is a classic, with the old men's choir and a great catchy tune.
Cheyenne, Cheyenne, where will you be camping tonight? Lonely man, Cheyenne, will your heart stay free and light?
My love for it is pretty similar to the love I have for Lawman, where it just makes me wish I was a baritone and not a soprano, or whatever I am. I don't know. I definitely can't go that deep, but does that stop me from trying and breaking into laughter halfway through? No. Number 4 is none other than Bonanza, and I ask you, how could I not include this one? It is pretty inarguably the most well-known Western TV theme of all time, and with dang good reason. I have this memory of when I was like 4 or 5 years old and we had a TV in our kitchen and we would watch Bonanza at lunchtime, and I would take my cheese stick and pretend it was a guitar just to play along with the song. It's just great, and it really sets this grand adventurous tone for the show. It's so iconic, and you should definitely check out the version where Lorne Greene sings the lyrics because it's also great. There isn't much else to say. It's the Bonanza theme song, and it's legendary. Coming in at number 3 is the Virginian, and it's in a very similar vein to the last one in that it's this epic orchestral piece that perfectly captures the spirit of the Western. There's so much going on in this song, and my dad could honestly probably dig into it a lot better than I can, but all I can say is that I love how all the different instruments work together. It's pretty appropriate, honestly, since despite what the title may lead you to believe, the Virginian is very much an ensemble show. I really love singing along to this song, yes, without any words, and it's just a ton of fun. The Virginian is such a unique show in so many ways, and this theme sets the mood perfectly. Number 2 is Wagon Train, or I guess one of the theme songs for Wagon Train. They had a few different ones, but I mean this one. Once again, I haven't actually seen very much of Wagon Train, but this song just speaks to me. Even more than the last few I mentioned, it gives me the inexplicable desire to go riding off into the sunset. It's just so epic. Listen to those horns. Even if I don't have as much of a connection with the show itself, the song is ranked so high because there is just something about this theme. If a Western theme is going to do anything, it really needs to give that spirit of adventure and independence that Westerns are all about, and I think this song does that perfectly. Before we get to number 1, I like to rapid-fire name off a few honorable mentions. The Big Valley, The High Chaparral, Batmasterson, Death Valley Days, Alias Smith and Jones, Branded, Gunsmoke, Laredo, The Lone Ranger, The Rifleman, Tales of Wells Fargo, Wanted Dead or Alive, The Young Riders. Oh, you are getting your own video someday. But now, last but most certainly not least, because this is a countdown and you always save the best for last because that's how this works, yeah, it's Maverick.
Who is the tall, dark stranger there? Maverick is the name. Riding the trail to who knows where. Luck is his companion. Gambling is his game.
Yeah, this one might be a bit of a surprise, but I chose it because it was one of the first theme songs that really stuck out to me. Literally, when I was little and we were up with my grandparents, Marjorie would come get me and be like, "Maverick's on!" And I'd get all excited and we'd run in there and we'd listen and sing along to the theme song, and then I would leave and go back to playing. The point is that even if I didn't really care about watching the show at that age, I absolutely loved the theme song, and I still do. Mainly because it's just so dang catchy. Like, just listen to this.
Riverboat, ring your bell. Fare thee well, Annabelle. Luck is the lady that he loves the best. That's to New Orleans, living on Jackson, Queens. Maverick is a legend of the West.
Once again, it's also a perfect tone setter for the more light-hearted comedic show that Maverick is, and it's so much fun. Truly, Maverick is the legend of the West. So yeah, that's my top 10 Western theme songs. I haven't been watching as many of these shows here recently, but I still listen to the themes and they will always live on in my heart, whether they are the melodramatic deep-voiced men's choir or the epic orchestral suites. I hope you enjoyed this little dive into one of my more obscure interests, and if you did, you can rest assured that there will be more videos like this in the future. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.